Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Norman series here on the Lord Master channel. Well, it took me a while because of the, if you saw the previous episode of, like, I want to start a war, but I don't want to because of one reason. Up there in Bruges, there's this man who sits at the throne of Flanders. I want Bruges, the capital, but I can't take him because of the number of allies he's got. Even though it is of similar strength, but for me, I am not confident enough about, about defeating them all at once in one pitched battle. Including ones where it would take all my free time away, besieging down this one fortified area. It's got a fort level 5. Some walls and memorial fortifications, which was something that my grandfather Rollo did when there was a great wildfire in Bruges. That's been there permanently, and it's going to stay there permanently. Yeah. And so that means a siege to win the war would take a while longer, unless we get lucky and defeat him in a pitched battle. But my plan is to murder the bastard, who is my friend, by the way, but it's been delaying the inevitable. So it will, two things will either happen. Well, three things. One, he dies of old age. Two, I murder him. And three, since he was out traveling and he's currently at the University of the Vaticano, something may happen to him. Various travels. So we shall see. And after we take Bruges, then I will look westward to Guarantes, held by, well, not the Kingdom of Brittany, but rather Frisia. Because we want this part of the land here that is valuable to me. Hey, stop that war of yours. Stop the vassal war. Might ask for something in return, because I just want you to be well behaved. In other words, stop beating each other up. Quit ruining the economy, at least locally. Because the amount of control while under siege, it sets its policies in there. Stop doing that. Stick together. The war has come to greater cost for me to abandon it now. However, a small contribution to restoring my treasure might convince me otherwise. How much? 40 gold? Okay. I can take 40 gold. I can give you 40 gold. Okay. Now stop that nonsensical war. Whoa. Camp fever spreads. Major camp fever. Oh, this is gonna come definitely. Since it started there, it's brand new. And it's major, and it's gonna spread in all directions, including here. But fortunately, we have the money to keep us going for situations like these. We still have the control plagues. I left it on. The artifacts while you can. You're the only good one to be court brewmaster. Feast cost to be reduced. Popular opinion for the areas that I hold. Sure, court or experimental brew. Give me one. +1 marshal. It's something that you don't need to do habitually every time. Anyways. Keep an eye on it. Because as soon as it goes to France, Ile de France, then it'll go down the river. And it'll lead us to here. Yep, I knew it. Isolate the capital. To walk through Bruges to be treated the dreadful symphony of human suffering. Pestilence has come to this once thriving metropolis. The infected are covered from head to toe in rashes that are too hot to touch. Call it camp fever. At least half of the peasant population has been infected, and it's only a matter of time until it spreads to the nobility. You know, we have a development of 20 for the most part, so now it's susceptible to play for the next 10 years, so this is going to cause a big development drop. Summit of Physician. Dim flickering light of William's infirmary illuminates the scene as the physician lays out a plan of attack. Those afflicted by camp fever are tormented by camp fever like I've never seen before. My recommendation as a professional is that we take a light approach to prevent the spread, or we do not wish to hurt the economy. Ultimately, the exact strategy for preventing the spread is the plague is mine to take. And please remember, if we need money, we can always raid. Yeah, soft approach is best. Don't want to do desperate measures because the scale is average. It would seem the moderate approach would prove successful. Of a slow spread of the disease symptoms among the commoners, though the impact is quite minimal, it should at least grant more time to work on a more permanent solution. Wonderful. Some plague resistance, and I'm reminded. Unequip these. Medicine on jar. Potent medicine jar. Get this woof. Okay then. I'm willing to do that. Put this on. Gives me more monthly stewardship experience. This is what I've been doing with well focused as of late. Cousin? Matrilineal marriage? No. I was wondering why is he saying that odd color. Damn, everybody's largely prepared. Can't do a damn thing. Just shaking my head. And no, not even then. You're just gonna sit there and you're gonna take it, okay? Sprint to Paris now. I tend to go to get this. Oh, it's spreading. It's here. It's here. Here, we tried plenty of plague resistance, but it's not enough, and we're in for a long one here. Into seclusion. Carried far away from the stink of the capital's hearts late at night, I and my family remained distant from the feeble realm until such time as right to emerge. Communication will be limited, in my absence felt. We should remain safe from the death and decay beyond our four modest walls. Lock the door. Ah, damn it. Does this mean that I, Oh no, you can still meditate. Gotta do it here in the comfort of your own castle. Just to pass the time. As you are a calm person. Now. If any of us get infected, well, you better do good. Spreading again. Look at that. For Norman again, typhus, and you're the mouse physician. Treat him well. You'll get better. Oh man. To make all the preparations necessary for Duke of Flanders' departure, so I'm interrupted by a page. No fool went that died without any help from me. Satan must have been eager for his company. Alright. He was slain in battle. Guess bandits got to him. Duchess Giza. Just born recently. No alliances. We're ready for war. But the thing about it is well, the place that we ought to, assemble the army from. We can afford a war. They can't get mercenaries. They're vastly inferior. And disease is not spread to the area. Just wait until I return from my meditation, then we'll begin. Infection rate in our capital is 12, thanks to a couple of modifiers that I've added. Mother died of typhus. I'm pregnant. My court physician bows low before speaking. My Duke. You mean Duchess? Or Marchioness? Attendant is sick, has strained our efforts, and the people whisper that the crown no longer cares. If you were to bless coins, distribute them yourself, might soothe their anger. The royal touch, they said, brings healings. Let them feel the royal touch. There's a 5% chance I may get caught with typhus. Just wait until I'm returned from my meditation, then we'll begin our war. My cousin, Grunk, barges in. Wild, it's like clutching a sack of leeches. Leeches are the only way to stop the camp fever, he says. Worse than disease. Damn it, man. His tradition says they should only be used under expert care. But these are desperate times. Can we really afford to wait? Distribute leeches to everyone, simply for the sake of it. They proved successful. By the chance I woke up earlier than I usually do today, I can't go back to sleep. I have some other important documents to review that I could get a head start on. On the other hand, why should I have to worry about that? I've been getting a bit stressful lately, so I will relax and enjoy the morning before my official duties begin. Retreat into the privacy of my chair as I begin an extended period of fasting and meditation. Unburdened by the tri-concerns of everyday court life, I soon find myself spending more time than just enjoying the simple pleasures in life. I'm glad I took the time to do this. Recently I became aware of the rumors emanating from my council that mar my dynasty's renown, with Overhaul being spread about my capabilities of managing my realm. After a cursory private investigation, I was unable to pinpoint the guilty counts, but I suspect Conrad will be behind this scheme. That's how I regard my councils with a poor opinion of me. I'll attempt to mitigate the damage. And did. Now we're ready. As Calais doesn't look like a disease is coming over there. Even though the easiest way in the world is to escape, but I'd be traveling through diseased country. So, Brabant. We can take them on. Let's do it. I ain't afraid of their ally. Marchioness will get us through. And I'm willing to lead, and I will not get caught by that disease. You'll never take me alive. Just unlock that achievement. What is that exactly? That's a bit of judging. I only need a loyal. Travel to a safe holding while your capital is infected by an epidemic. That's what that achievement is. Because I simply decided to leave the capital to lead my army, instead of sitting there doing nothing at court. Still counts as secluded. Move on. Unfortunately, the terror inspired on others turned against me is a direct consequence of insidious action when someone decided to get rid of me once for all. As such, a while at night, an empty alcove in my castle is lost in my thoughts. I'm viciously attacked by a mysterious dark figure that swiftly approaches me in the shadows. Immediately, I'm certain his objective to my own and final demise. Fortunately, my bodyguard is close to me to offer significant protection. Must fight for my life. There's an 8% chance that I might die, 43% chance that my bodyguard gets killed. If I were to die right now, then my 8-year-old son Baldwin is going to have to get through this epidemic here, and as well as for someone else to take command. I live. My master Joffrey speaks in harsh tones, stirring only you can hear. My lady, I propose a ruthless but effective strategy. As our forces advance, we systematically destroy crops, poison wells, and burn settlement in enemy territory. This would deny them the resources and force the army to either engage us on our terms or to watch their people starve. This approach will cost you piety and potentially generate lasting hatred. But few military tactics are effective as breaking the enemy's will to fight. We need the siege weapon effectiveness. because we're not going to be in a long-term war. Give the orders. War is not the game for the faint-hearted. Yeah, they assembled their army now. And we're going to be on the march. Right now. Oh, Eustace, my cousin's been excommunicated. I could ask him, hey, can you lift his excommunication? Oh yeah, the options of call dynasty women in the war is a thing I rarely ever do. Rather fight them in a pitched battle. Stumble upon my vassal. May have heard about crouch beside my dog. Hold fast. Here's the scratches though. This dog here is quite a charmer, lady. He's a good boy, yeah? Taking out one of their commanders. Catch them there and we'll catch them out in this forest. Martial lifestyle up. Stalwart leader. Taking that. If I have any rivals, I'll be sure to challenge them to single combat. Destroy this army, then we'll begin the siege. Do it. Alright, another son. Gerald. Alright, capture the Chancellor of my foe and the Vaste, one of the knight of Norse origin. Confucian education? What the hell? Must be a randomly generated character. It just happens to have that trait. Alright, let's begin the siege. It's been a few weeks since I gave birth to my little Joe, yet I'm still bound to bed. As days go by without much improvement, my joy is consumed by a terrible weariness. Shouldn't my strength be returning by now? I became ill. It's not the typhus. This man at least grows up, becomes paired to my child as weak. It's not inheritable. The grim smell of bubbling textures and mashed shells assaults my senses as I make my way through my decisions. In his workroom, he looks up from the auction that is preparing. Time has come, my lady. He looks. I know several ways to treat your cold. Always certain texture, suffice. Trust yours and yours alone. He attributed my ailments to an unsound diet. To revitalize my body, he insisted I consume only raw vegetables and herbal teas for a week, so as to not tempt me. He confiscated my stash of treats. He never returned them. Dietary restrictions turned out to be just what I needed. For now, the worst of my symptoms are alleviated, and the world seemed a little brighter. Thank you. See how long this will take. 7 months. Okay. That'll do. I'll lead the siege personally. Although, don't we have other commanders to do that? Yes, Joffrey. You the man. Get to work on it while I return home sick. My son Baldwin is a genius. Oh, Bethune. Protect him at all costs. What's his education going towards? Diplomacy. I would like to see him go on the learning route instead. Gotta put that mind to use with the high learning. On the road, my entourage and I come across a Catholic priest in robes. He's kneeling on the ground, looking at nowhere in particular as he chants some prayers. After he finishes, I ask him what he was doing. He explains that recently a woman died here in an accident. She was a poor woman with no family. So out of compassion and pity, he gave her a modest but dignified funeral. He hopes her spirit will find peace in heaven. How noble. May I join you in praying for her spirit? Just want to be faithful. Yeah, the war's costing us financially, but we gotta get this done. That's why I was siege leader. Starvation. Cousin. For what? Tyranny? Tyranny. No, cousin, I will not join you. We have our hands full, and we can't afford another war right now. Sparring in my courtyard, Joffrey and I locked our practice blades together in the dance. On the battlefield would have likely resulted in him dying 1,000 times over. He's simply not the warrior that I am. Still, necessary training for someone supposed to represent me in the field. So the time I make to... By St. George, that blow almost caught me in the skull. Careful, you lout. Could have come away much worse. I'm a sick woman. Take it easy on me. Well, as numerous attempts occur, you're not going to notice. Can't feel but irritated by concept of sudden interest in me. And I cannot shake the feeling that the man's intention is not pure. She has a certain charm. Sickness and pestilence continue its harrowing march through Normandy. Felling the great and lowly alike. That brutal and discriminate troops lays up there to moments like these. My stomach twists and rises in silent agony at the body of my son, Henry, born past me. Physicians and healers worked from dawn to dusk the same, with the grim faces told everyone wanted so young, so far from us, so we left to die of this. God deliver us. Oh, that's just sickly, not the typhus. Under siege of Flanders. Assaulted schemer. Not terribly worried about that. But I'm willing to engage him in combat. Over there. Gotcha. I step out of my tent and rub my eyes. The siege camp sprawls out before me. A jumble of mud huts and tents under a pall, choking dust, alcohol, and sweat. Flags flutter above the throng. Cut timbers laid stacked like a wall outside the tents. My low retainer approaches before the siege is ending. I gather my bodyguards at the edge of camp. The barony of Bruges stands before me. A charred, blackened ruin. In the fields between empty carts dot charred mounds of dirt. The wooden wheels still bear traces of thick, wet blood on the walls that still stand. Blackened corpses line the battlements. Bodies litter the field. Grieving widows clutch their small children to their bosoms as they flee. Their clothes tattered and worn. And look at me for direction. Spare it, because this is going to be a land I will personally hold. Want it for myself. To engage the enemy. Finish him off. You're traveling through diseased country, even though you can't get any sicker as you're already ill. That's how that works. So fight on. Gotcha. Arrived at court. Alright, the Duchess is here. Pay up. Oh, you got no money. Well then we'll just end the war then. This land is mine. All you have left is Clermont. So these started to end. You know, commit. The control's gone to hell here. Despite our efforts. But we acquired some very valuable land. And we also destroyed one of their fortification buildings. So we have a small harbor and some mansions. A new special building. The Belfry of Bruges, which can't be constructed until High Medieval era. Interesting. It's French majority. Well, and let's begin the Normandization. Normandization, yeah, that word again. Over here. This process takes a while. Could rebuild these walls and towers again, as this is a place of great value to me. Throw it in. Get it under all control. They say it may take about 26 years. Isolated the capital. This was the reason. Revolted against war. Well, that soon passes now, so it may take 17 years. But we can't know for certain. Isolated capital is another reason. Camp fever is coming to an end soon. At least it's what we are hoping. Yeah, it's starting to. So now, let our military recover, which we have fully. Oh, yes. Two things. I'm well again. And two, low land value is gone. The realm now boasts fertile agricultural lands suitable for urbanization and economic exploitation, increasing our taxation capacity. Because Bruges, that's why I said this is very important land for the realm. For economic reasons. Especially the potential of low countries and exceptional natural harbor here. Got it from that. We can have that destroyed and get the money. Since it's not gonna, since we don't have a royal court and there's no reason to have it. Still a few isolated pockets of the typhus still in our realm. Don't get out of seclusion yet. Yep, starting to fade now. While I was at the market with Baldwin, his attention was caught by a criminal chained in the pillory. Baldwin watched him for a while. When he did nothing but cough and beg for water, he rolled his eyes and kept on walking. No, child, bring the poor man the water he asks for. That's a virtue. And also, you should be calm like me. I'm giving you another trait of mine. Just this once. And try to instill a virtue instead of trying to, have out of everything. I approached my son Ball with a question. What is power? Having knights and nobles at your command? Lost my favorite earring today. Nobody seems to care. Power begins with power oneself, I explained, by bugging others, by becoming upset at lashing out to the show away feelings of helplessness and foolishness. Instead, free David found a clear judgment. My judgment is clear, Snazzle. I judge it to be judge this to be stupid. Ah. Little boy. Pass the commander trait. One day, son, you're gonna lead, and I'm gonna try to give you this. Baldwin looks bored after looking at military tactics on the maps for hours by now. I get up and throw him the sparring sword jump. Let's go outside. First, direct hit to the body wins. Winter nearby groove. The fight drags on for a while, so we can't reach each other between the branches. Eventually, Baldwin spots a patch of rough ground behind me. Now I got you, he exclaims and pushes me onto the rocks. Up in the rocky hills, his movement is too fast enough to he lands an easy hit on me. You'll be a great commander one day. You may never know when you might need that. My uncle slain in battle, and cousin Eustace has been captured as prisoner of war. Finally, the plague's left the realm, and we must take this as an opportunity to rise from the chaos that's left this way. Now we emerge from the wreckage of the old world, and the time has come to consider it anew. Must spare no expense to rebuild. Major disease recovery. There's no doubt you're going to get your title revoked. Alright, emerge from seclusion. It's over. The sun feels unfamiliar and hostile on my skin. The wind feels cold and violating. When was the last time I took a breath of air as God made it? Glad to be back. Another child, and this will be the last one. Entrenched Regent. Dismissed with a wave of the hand. Don't care about that. Now we can begin to make some real fortune. That'll take 4 years. Wish I was inspecting, but I need to do some more traveling. Oh, Frisia. far as we know. They only have one ally, West Francia, and we can declare war and beat them easily. Since, he's going to assemble it over there, whereas the real objective is over there. Even though it'll take 10 years to, or so, or maybe less, to, get this all into construction again. Hello, my master horse frets all through all the day, evidently attempted to find the right words. Last we make our way to and begin shipsy. On each day say counternaut, your nephew takes his provider claims of your lands more seriously each day. He maintains he's personally wronged by your continued rule of his rightful domain, Normandy in particular. I shall write on art at once. Letter softens him. Don't even think about it. That's all I got to say about you. Don't even think about it. Two more counties needed to increase the realm size of the market Normandy. This will be the next target for expansion, and I may even want to go further to Zeeland and the rest of Holland. Is Bruges the most valuable land of all of Flanders? Yes. Same for Zeeland and the rest of Holland. So Holland is a desirable place to expand in future. Yet another son. Humphrey. Ill again, as they're giving birth. Here we go again. Best course stream will be some rest. Surrounded me in soft pillows and gently tucked me in under many layers of blankets. Before he left my chairs, pulled my curtains shut. It was noon, so extra turned out to be just what I needed. At least so they think. Improve your favoritism by befriending neighboring rulers. If we had this one before. I don't have time for this. Amiens, I'm thinking about getting that as well, because forests. Don't want this yet, unless we have the Duchy of Flanders title. Just want to fully unite Normandy. And then perhaps take all of Brittany as well, in addition to Holland. Basically, we're creating Greater Normandy in the future. Well, you know what to do. Try to fabricate a claim on Amiens. Due to forests. Because that's another thing that we've been dealing with here. Low resources. Buildings take time and they're more expensive. We need to reduce that. And yeah, I'll go out for a hunt. I'll be there. Who wants to be the caravan master? You. Let's go. Cheesemakers. I'll try my hand at this. Oof. Accidentally mix up the curd in the way, ruining the cheese and making it a mess. He is not pleased, and the party delayed the hell. I took Baldwin out playing with the bow. Still around while I'm not there, okay. He did not hesitate to slice to bring it down. Greatness awaits you, Baldwin. No longer your tutor. Oh, you do need a tutor. Young one. Try this at least. While we switch back to that. What if it's poisonous? It's a harmless plant. I guess on the horizon before me, and the dawn sun ushering a full day of promise. My master hunt fox says, with a raptor and have tingles. I know we have a hunt to get to, but what a clear morning. If you're hungry at a bird's belly and in the ground, chilling on the ground, prey will be ripe for the taking. For after this calls will be better home for the sport to come. I went into the battle with a dull blade. Practiced falconry for the next 20 years. This ain't gonna be good. As the sun rises over the hunting grounds, when its local gangs out of vicinity for recent tracks and fumes, cleared a small roebuck is nearby, but no wish to trace the larger game. Wanted to hunt a roe. I thought we were hunting for bird, but that ain't it. Hold fast trots along beside me. I say enjoying his time outside. Suddenly Freeze starts barking. A couple seconds later, something could be heard moving through the undergrowth. Something big. His barks turns to growls just as the stag bursts into our path. I'll take it down. Woman to stag. Duke of his huts, which says they know the place to be scored. The nearby water holes, the graces before we could, those things from before we could sneak up on a winning list. So be it. Attempt to surprise him. This won't work. Oof. You just whiffed your chance. Very low chance of success. Despite our best efforts, we are unable to get close to the road. There's sense each time we near the fleeing go into ground. Nearly too dark to continue. The mid to defeat the hands of the deer. You can't win them all. Plus, I wasn't at 100%. Gain a hunter trait. Should take up falconry, but that shit's expensive. You keep giving me good fighting, man. But, hey, cats, Emma. What's the matter with you? You're under arrest. This sister Countess was showing signs of pregnancy sometime. So everyone thought that her husband was the father of the child. As we come clear the real father, but he's not named Count Arnold. Arnold? You mean Nephew, what the flying... What the hell? There's been close relations. No sound of my voice any more than usual. You always sit at the opposite end of the table when invited to feast. Consistently refused my company while camping. I know I had the best relationships, but that attitude is starting to tire me. Or when I... Stephanie's a vile witch. I'll be a way better Marchioness than that. Can I master take care of it on this? You're gonna end your days in a dungeon. I'm gonna imprison you. By the time we get back here, I'm gonna get some money off of you. The journey through a sprawling pasture started with cattle. As my retinue pauses at the edge of the vanite field, the herdsman approaches, cheerfully strumming his lute. He grants a broad smile. My lady, he begins. These beasts are the pride of our province. Will you join me to witness our labor, restock your supplies, or partake some of that famous good blue cheese? Cheese sounds delicious. Grab that. Small boost. Despite the rumors, the cheese was not made by Vikings, but however, it's extremely good. If I had a gumption, I would have loved to revoke your... This is another way for me to gain more land for myself. For your penalty of adultery, you will lose your right to rule here. You got no reason to be here anymore. And lastly, pay up. Make this land Norman too in future. Inefficient census. You screwed it up. That's all I gotta say about it. You done screwed up. Hidden hinterlands. What the hell? Oh yeah, we put that there. Old age hasn't caught up to me yet. Screw it, let's do it. Let's go on a hunt. Falconry in particular, because I have that modifier where I can gain more XP than usual with falconry. But they tended to be expensive. Falconry compared to normal hunts. Well, I've been under a lot of stress lately. And it gives me an excuse to do some traveling. Long after night is settled, I find myself laughing, telling stories, and drinking my caravan master. Didn't know he had in him. Talkative ends up telling a particular revolt story about the four peasants he's seen around. Dry my eyes and laughter, and drink it a bit to clear my throat. I'll ask him to tell me another story. Just want to give you the stress. As we wait to arrive at the rest of the guests, my servants can get started preparations. The gamekeepers check the grasses of any sign of cover while establishing camp close to the guns. My bird grows restless waiting, knowing it will soon be unleashed. We come across a gorgeous vista. It's a beautiful view, unlike any other we've seen. A picturesque expanse of the landscape truly shows the glory of our world. Some are members of Entourage insist we stay in this area for a day or two, so we can take some time to admire the scenery. Let's pray to thanks and God while we rest here. Yes, I know there's high development here, but hidden wilderness here. We should go raiding after this. But raid pagans and Islamic entities. No more raiding Christians. You gotta go far to raid now. Alright, there's always Finland, but even that it carries risks. Count assembles the party as the sunrise over the camp grasslands near. With any luck, we find a flock of storks and a hawks. We'll have a great sport. My beaters should have no trouble bringing the birds out of hiding. I've noted a few spots that likely bear fruit. Here. Pheasant, duck, stork. That's the highest prestige. Stork. Let's do it. As we amble the group, I hear and there, all behind me, hissing from Tom's answer. Look at this heartless sycophant. He points at my knight, Rosalind, who seems to be having a hard time bearing insults. There's no way for the mayor to act. Hold fast, Charles August, obviously enjoying his time outside. Sonic Freeze starts barking. A couple of seconds later, Sonic could be heard under something big. Sparks turns to growls just as a wolf bursts in our path. I'll take it down, woman to wolf. It happened again. My seneschal, Gottfried, signals the party to hush. We have arrived at the release spot set up by the game masters. Not far off, a flock of white storks passed through the sky. The deaths they call heraldry in our sport. The party whispers. The party halts as we prepare to move our roads and set them one moment to their spot. Fly true, little one. Chance is not good, but give it a shot. My dull vassal crouches behind the trees every. Fully concentrated on approaching me. I glance to the best opportunity I get. Why on earth would I want to do that? This is not the time. I know. Look, you could always just evoke the mayor, tell him to get out. That's how we usually solve that problem. I watch excitedly as my hawk identifies target, takes wing from its watch, soaring high in the air. Climbing the positions in pursuit of the stork flock. Hawk is doing everything alright. The panicking couriers scatter, calling the alarm. It's too late. Time and again, my hawk swoops in for a kill, but misses and retreats, or only grazes the target. After hours' attempts, the game have all but disappeared. The hawk is near exhausted, and the light is fading. As always, next time. Storks eluded us. Damn. No success here. Nope, Entourage still stuck in the snow. And we got even more delays stacked on top. Humphrey died after a botched treatment. What? He had consumption. Rest in peace, little Humphrey. So I only have Gerald and Baldwin. Fortunately, I'm fluent to that language, and we are here. Powerful vassals have gathered. Successful persuasion. Yeah, as I said, we should resort to raiding now. Let's raid. Grand wedding. Down there. I mean, I'm all for getting off my ass and start going to places just to increase my wandering experience. Just a moment. We still have our man, right? Our Reaver. Yes. Where to? Shall raid. There's still someone here, that's true, but remember, it's Sweden. Finland is fully united, but are they currently involved in any conflicts? Yes. Mainly intervening in other people's conflicts. So it's open season for us. To Finland. Yes. Raid Finland and Karelea. Off you pop. I'm gonna go to the wedding. I'll be there. And then after that, I'll swing around to there to pick up some, let's see, lifestyle experience. On my way. What the hell am I gonna do here, huh? There should befriend the Duchess. Because we had that interaction. High taxes. Oh, good. More fortune for me. Though I'm not greedy, just something to help with our economy as we're trying to get this fixed into the right direction. Same for our capital county. It's become a habit to walk hold-fast daily. Not sure which was joy, the fresh air and the sun the most. Holds up. Holds fast, pounds ahead. It looks, yeah, Bark says, say, catch up, and on we walk. Look, this is my plan. As we get our loot, the money from the loot, we need that for the war chest to take defensive measures. Now we have a higher fort level on this side should Frisia try to attack us from behind and try to get Bruges while we have this as the main objective. Country majority faith Asatru. Shut up! What are they up to, by the way? Currently at war. Well, keep an eye on it as we swing around the sea. See what the capital looks like. This is the one where it has very valuable loot. Passing through Kattegat. Oh. It's open season. Let's do it. After we loot that place, go to Finland. 3 months. exciting. Wedding banquet. Again, you people know how all this works. Throughout the meal, I find myself directly drawn to Gilbert's conversation. That's just some guy to carry on and stuff. He has some very interesting opinions. He makes the very best jokes, but he seems so much of common. When I'm recounting an anecdote, he listens attentively and chips in with all the appropriate comments at the appropriate time. Who would have thought I saw such pleasant company at this wedding? Yeah, sure. Damn pirates. We're gonna get at you one day. I know I should be mingling with others, but I can't just tear myself away from my friend Gilbert. I could see Loops trying to get my attention. But every time I try to excuse himself, Gilbert is following laughter all over. Sneak out so we can talk properly. Bingo. Captured the Queen's hostage. Alright. To Finland. And then after you raid the capital of Finland, go raid Karelea. They consummate the marriage while the feast continues for us. Messenger arrives with little ceremony bearing Queen Tor Denmark's sealed scroll. Oh, I didn't know you were Catholic. I'm sorry. I guess I must have misread. I deeply apologize. We saw the money and we took it. We saw our duty and did it. That's what happened. Guess I misread the part that says... I'll postpone it. We can't afford it. I'm sorry. Kind of majority favors Central Top Leech favor Catholic. I must have misread that. Congratulations. Well, meanwhile, I'll do a bit of traveling around. Wake up. Nope, too large of a diversion. Let's deviate. Okay then. Just wanted to travel around the country while our raiders are on their way to Finland. This is the kingdom of Lotharingia. As I travel through the countryside of Champagne, I come across a group of local craftsmen working on a beautiful stained glass window in the Church of Joyous. The sun shines through the colorful glass, creating a rainbow of light on the forest floor. Loop invites you and your party to try your hand at the delicate art of stained glass. He explains the process and offers his guidance. I could spend some time creating a piece of the window myself. However, one false move, and then would ruin the valuable artwork to the craftsman's eye. I'm trying to text back. Okay. I'll watch an art. Perhaps I'll establish my own workshop. Art beyond grass. Techniques are more complex than they appear. Some skills cannot be learned by mere watching. Wandering Knight. I don't have time for this right now. Brooke! Stop! Yeah, we can't go further. Just wanted to visit this place. I've seen and beheld its many wonders in my trials, but never beheld such beauties as the ones I've seen at Cons. Truly, Franconian men are cut above all the rest. One particular fascinating specimen has taken my eyes in the light. A man by the name of Siegfried. Pray, love, beloved. He is far too pleasing my to spend his days away in Cons. Cannot give my love so freely. He says at a quiet tavern in Trier, where a loud band of ragged-looking sell swords come barging in. Their brutish leader was one of my guards side and audaciously sits down with them. A noble woman, eh? My lady, interested as serves the best band of mercenaries in Trier. More law and men you'll never find, if you pass properly. I'll just here to enjoy a small break. I got good enough, man. Yes, I'm fabricating a claim, and what of it? Shut your mouth. I will have Ami answer myself for the trees. Oh, geez, not like that. Oh. Go to Amsterdam and visit there, then we'll return. Unless you want to go on a trip to England for a bit. Just do lots of travel. Right. Let's move out. Parts of the road is covered with wooden planks, as it's come someplace to make travel safer. However, it should be no surprise that the wood is oftentimes subject to theft, particularly in more rural areas. As so happened, we encountered a party of ruffians trying to take the wooden planks, trying to make off with the wood as soon as they approached. Let's go in after them. Catch the thieves. Alright, open season. Keep it up because I would like to get inspection for the domain taxes. Let's move on. Let's hasten our journey indeed. Reach the capital. Hey, tell me more. Prince Archbishop Adamar's jittery with childish glee as he guides my visit to Fate Courier in Natish. For some incomprehensible reason, he seems to think this place is the jewel in this grassy crown. I look out over the ravaged field, all brown and greyish green. My eyelids grow heavy. Lady sleeps eluding me. So I said you're awake, Madam was. And I said, was I boring you? I was. So we taking it all in. Very much. Ah, yes, the Haunted Manor. We know that event. Yeah. Let me pass. Heard tell the military exploits of the legendary Norman mercenaries. That's who we are. Is he now? I'm sure we can negotiate this. Would you like to join? Got him. I'm reminded, my daughter was arbitrary and weak. Let me remove your guardian. I want to raise you myself. Captured the king's grandson and we took his shield. That's a court artifact. Let's play it safe here. Head to Caralea. Plus the amount of it will be enough for all of us. Scheme secrecy. Huh. Okay then, Kakisama will do. He's just a dog. Known criminal failed to treat kin. Huh. Uh-oh. That's the army of the Kingdom of Finland. Listen, I don't think it's wise to go up to him, and you'd be fighting in his turf. Like, perhaps you should raid somewhere else. Old Slavic pagans, and they are a far weaker entity. They got nothing. The Yarman land, that's... I mean, an opportunity to imprison somebody there, but there's little value. Too afraid to take these guys on. They're doing nothing, so I don't want to take them on either. Well, crap. This which is going beyond where we typically raid. Estonia, that place is not yet fully Christianized. Sweden. That place has been raided many times. Actually, let's try here. How about there? Just gotta go upriver, the Volkov River, and then to the Loyat River. After we raid that, then we have to go home. This is a weaker fort level. This is a feudal realm. Again, it'll do. Because Sweden is currently at some sort of situation, but their numbers are inferior compared to ours. Especially I will be raiding over here instead of some other place. Hey, that's a Swedish army, alright. They're going to take an eternity and a half to get it all up, and perhaps we can, you know, get them while we can. Discovered symbolic rites innovation. Now, symbolic rites. That is cultural fascination progress goes faster. That helps. Keep it going. I'm willing to beat these guys in a battle. Pay the ransom. Carlia pays us a lot. Alright, basically at full capacity here. I'm willing to engage them, and then bring our boys home. Just catch them on the act. Getting myself deeply into the front line of the chaos, I find myself considered the fray of arrows come flying over the opposite edge, crashing among men. Among the injured, I find myself in an arrow lodged prone into my eye socket. Shocked and stunned, stumbled back in the rear of my army, partially blinded. I was lucky to survive. Ah, crap, I'm one-eyed. Which hurts your prowess a bit, but it increases your learning, and your dread goes up. One-eye Stephanie. Not what I had in mind. Alright, bring our boys home. We're gonna get our war chest. Our well-learned war chest. Fight our war against Frisia, and then we'll grab on the ends. Away, Beelzebub! Wandering about my court here, raised voice, one verging on anger. I double back, and an unusual scene confronts me. Megara, my husband, standing, towering above my daughter at least. Berating her as even my husband throws another book into the jaws of the crack of my. You will not be reading more of this impure filth, he roars, condemning another book to the flames. No child is in this household will suffer from Satan's influence. I pick out a book from the pile and it's marked for destruction. Only find this a content on building tiny castles out of dirt. What the hell? Ceases at once. The child must learn. 62 gold. Once our army is fully reinforced and ready for war, then we're gonna take them on. Set is currently undergoing a revolt of some sorts. Peasant uprising. They have allies, but no longer they have friends in the back. Don't be afraid. Charge in when you have to, I say. Even though you are weak, but you're brave. A large stone slab has been recently discovered, and with some text carved to it. It appears to be centuries old at least, though the writing is difficult to read. We were able to find a local scholar who could translate it. It says the stone seems to be created and raised many generations ago in honor of some important local figure who recently passed away. Little else can be discerned, given the writing is so worn out and written in ancient stone. Piece of history, no less. Oh, another hunt. I got time. Where are we going? Come on. I'll be there. Just buy me enough time while the army recovers from the raids, and then we'll be ready to fight a war for that. Tell me more about the king if he's got any secrets, which he does not. Southern or Norman? I'll find out myself. Pay the ransom, another 62 gold. Not again with this illness. Do no more is necessary. Again with the raw vegetables. You're about to have even more money than it's need to be. Ah, yes, the pottery competition. I'm afraid I have no time for such matters. Got hunting to do. Almost home. So, hunting for a stag. A low chance of success, but aye. Stock their cups, newspaper any stag from the canopy above. Saw tourist spills for going loud as we went. It's not to screech for its mother. Now Joe Hudson brings down a fluffy as non-fledged trap chick from the oak. What luck! Only young birds come to walk. They probably return home. Take it back when it is. All belongs to the personal treasury. That is well enough that we need. For a war chest in case we need to hire mercenaries during the times of conflict. Gonna ambush the stag. Put it in the state. Watch for a stag for a concealed bow line. Tats there anticipates the flyers, flushes cries out and bang how the scroll on. Comes going. Quick, Althon, take the shot. Althon Curry takes aim as the stag bounces. Goose panting its leaves. Arrow sails past the stag quickly turning disappearing dense undergrowth. Unlucky. You had it, but you missed. You suck again. Terrible end. Gotta bear with it. As you walk through the streets of Montagus, the procession of soldiers emerge on the side street. Most of them are injured and aided by downtrodden civilians. The herald proudly stands up in front, a throng of people gathering around the marketplace, and declares in a loud voice, "We've crushed those Moravian dogs yet again. It's only a matter of time. Well, victory is ours." Yet, the celebratory words pales when I look at the injured soldiers and their green relatives. Sorbian Moravian subjugation war. That's what's going on. Made us some wisdom serving the battles. Here's some stories about the battles. Passed through the back alley in Montez. See a lonely child and a dog sitting in a small corner behind a wall. Here you go, Valor, and a small piece of bread given out for so look at it too. Dog clear is taking much better care of its owners. This good. It's forgetting everything's confined. Pass some food, child. Starts moving again. And he joins us. Alright. We're not quite ready just yet. But we're getting there. Ready for war. Low trade power now, instead of insignificant. Base trade power is determined by many logical factors. Things are looking up. Already constructing this barely. Oh yes, about to have that finished. I'll be willing to make investments. I was about to say, did West Francia get destroyed? That town doesn't seem to exist. Must have lost a disillusion war or something I wasn't aware of. Especially if Lotharingia not up there. Burgundy's a kingdom unto itself. Byzantium's making advances to Serbia, which the kingdom of Serbia no longer exists. Antioch, the Emirate of Antioch, is an independent entity led by the Abbasids. They bulleted High Chiefdom, Orthodox Pechenegs. Who are they? Afghan Hindus still exist. Sure, the Sogdian. Maitreya Buddhists are still around as well, surprisingly. Apparently Orthodoxy is in Persia now, and parts of Mesopotamia. Because there's a strong entity out there. Seljuk nomadic invasion. Well, they were Seljuks, but they've gone extinct at this house, and they just gone to the Pechenegs, who are Orthodox, and they're spreading to there. Well, it seems Byzantium has gained a new ally from over there. They're a clan realm rather than nomadic. This is a remnant of the Arabian Empire there. That's a rump state, almost. What a wacky world this is in the East. Makes Europe look a bit more sensible. Sometimes. Anyways. We're ready for war. All we need is green light. Not particularly afraid of their allies. In fact, to post up on that, there's something I'm going to do that's we have not done before. Fight the Norse settlers. Get me mercenaries. You could gain anywhere from 200 to 1,000 special soldiers, and that will include at least one Norse men-at-arms regiment. Came into contact with a band of Norse adventurers led by a man named Kildemunda, who have expressed interest in serving me. Kildemunda agreed to provide some return for allowing this band to move in my territories. Goes without saying that the Norse are known, even feared for their abilities in war. Kildemunda commands every honorable warriors who could prove more loyal than the average cutthroat hirelings. If they were to find a right liege, from now on these warriors will serve me and strike fear into my enemies' hearts. Lastly, I could see if I could ask Kildemunda to help me defend my territories against incursions by the hostile Norse. Alright, that's good enough. That's all I wanted. Right. How much do we got? 150. We'll stand down on succession. Got 50. Right, veterans, just a complement of ours. Same for those Norman adventures that we've had since the time when Rolfer settled. Put it over here. Station them here. Now you're ready. This is to seize it. Military strength is inferior to ours. We gotta take this first before we fight against them up there. Let's hope for a quick war, okay? I'll lead. We'll unite Normandy finally. Scorched earth again. That's their small army. Great massacre. What? Fine. Now they're besieging Bruges. But this will take a while. Huh. Enrichment. Try to have fun with that. Bastion and curtain walls constructed. Another fort level, so that'll take them 2 years or so. That'll hold them off for a while. This takes 7 months, but we can... Oh, Joffrey. Speed it up. Pestilence leaves the moments. Disease stalks our camp outside the ranks. Men fall with fever and rot. Water turds found in barrels, and the air reeks of death. Each grave dug weakens morale, and pestilence spreads faster than enemy sortie. Armies lost 10% of their strength. They'll pay for this defiance. Very good. My husband died. Old age, right? I mean, when I married him, he was already an old man. Glory's widely known. Excellent. That's what I wanted. We captured the objective. I step out of my tent and my eyes, he just kind of spells it for me. Ross's affair of bird lap and leather and roast chicken and bonfire smoke and foul breath and horse manure and blood and death. Flags flutter in a stiff northwestern breeze. Colors stalk and bright against the dune sky. Figures hunt over campfires, tossing out wood or brush sheepskin clean. My lower return is approaching for the siege that I got on my bodyguard to set the other camp. The barony of Archer stands for me. The canyon of shattered walls, empty supply carts lay gutted and burning everywhere. Giant wooden doors hanging twisted, charred black frames. Windows of the tall stone keepers strung like silvers of broken glass onto the cobblestone street. Blood-blackened wreckage sits propped in piles in abandoned doorways. Grieving widows weep in their doorways, and barefoot children shuffle amid the rubble. I look me for direction. Spare it, because this land's going to be mine to hold. I'll take the lead. To Bruges. Baldwin. Despite being a curious child, eager to learn, Baldwin's attention drifted elsewhere as he grew older. Hardly studious. At least he managed to memorize certain choice quotes from the classics. He'll probably never write any great theorems, but he might read one or two. An adept erudite. Yeah. There's always room for improvement for you. But you are a genius. And he's got a fox-like demeanor. This character's demeanor is clever and charismatic, often displaying the sly, affable nature within the court. They possess a quick wit and are skilled at charming others with their magnetic personality. Their courtier interactions are marked by a calculated and elusive approach, often combined with a likable and engaged presence. He's attractive, but unfortunately control growth's Haveled. Minus 10% a month. He's also a bit vengeful, which is contradictory. Him being compassionate, vengeful, and ambitious, he's gonna be prone to stress. It's too late for us to stop to it. Some say we should have gone by boat, but thought going cross country may do us. They're gonna get it. Yeah. Not lose our war score a bit. But now we'll avenge them. Average power projection. Massive advantage. Capture the Lord Mayor. You'll get Amiens. I'll have to ask the king for it, my good friend. 3 months. We just built that. Now we're gonna liberate it. As long as we hold the objective, we'll win the war. Just liberate Bruges. Despite these best efforts, but now, with organized muster rolls, we have a faster reinforcement rate. I'm riding my dog Holdfast beside me. Sonny runs off the farmlands. We're out there, he says he will come back, but what if he doesn't? The old Holdfast said he'll wait for me. Searched for a long time and not a sign of Holdfast could be found. Just about to leave my cousin cat to go to the pews. Nowhere, Holdfast in tow. Host of the Viscount, the mercenary company. Hey, weren't you the... let's see, who you're related to. As you are of House the Normandy cousin. No, worth the ringing. Thank you. He's down in Provence. One love's kiss is all I can give him. We've seen this before. As the realm is passed by the state of warfare, it becomes apparent that there should be a way to specialize our troops in either defense or in offense. As Supreme Commander of my army, I'm the one who will gain insight of such training. There's a drawback for this, however. As long as I perfect the art of offense or defense of my troops, I'm not spending time developing my lifestyle path, thus losing important progress is made there. Given the situation, so perhaps consider. I'll avoid wasting time on details. War's about to be over anyway. There'll be no more offensive wars for period of time, and I'm in no mood to go for this. I'm in no mood for you know, going to war for Amiens, even though it would be an easy one for me. But I would rather ask the king to just give it to me straight up, and I'll appoint a Norman vassal there. One day, as I was paying a visit to one of the minor dwellings in my capital county, I managed to bypass my headsman and swiftly approached me, dagger in hand, yelling, "This reader stop converting the culture of my county, you bloody scum!" Fortunately, two bodyguards close me. I must fight for my life. Use my diplomacy to influence the fanatic. Use my diplomacy. It killed my bodyguard. You're younger. When you're younger, you last longer. We got it. The county's mine. Now, since you are the holder there, you can find the lost relics of St. Albert, which will cost you some money, but it's a nice little attempt. At least you are faithful and a Christian. And you can commission the store at Normandie. Got all that is required. So I'll be holding that for myself. War's over. Okay. Get to work. I'm gonna control back up. Makes me wish I was inspector. But I want this first. Become architect. You still got a long ways to get there. And I just noticed that renown. You're getting closer to the last dynasty legacy of that path. I increased county patrols. It's just something I almost never ever do. Never had the time nor the gumption to do it. Faster control growth. Just to make up for not having an inspector. Pay for the patrols. Try this. Yes. And I could commission a donor portrait just to gain some quick renown. To get it up. And nice timing. Go on a whale hunt. See if you can make a profit. Willing to throw that in. We'll do it after the whale hunt for these two. Whale is she's sending a hunt for his return. Thankfully, these whales hunted down some whales. Once contacted nearby merchants, we could sell the VIET as well as above before I'm shipping reports elsewhere, so congratulations well on the job well done. This is how much power we make on use. Unfortunately, while the whalers did kill manager whales, it's not a particularly impressive amount. It was enough to pay back some of the costs of the whole trip, but not enough to turn hands of power. Still, things could have been worse with these guns in the other. You spent 100 and you got 50. Crap! Okay. Let's do two things. Find the lost relics of St. Albert. Not too long ago, the relics of St. Albert, the founder of Mont Saint-Michel Abbey, were lost or stolen. Perhaps another effort to find these relics is in order. If we were to somehow miraculously discover them, it could enhance the reputation of the Mont Saint-Michel Abbey. You know that place? Based on your intrigue and your level of devotion, you have a 50% chance of discovering the relics and getting that modifier. You will get a random amount of piety between 150 to 250 if they are found, 50 to up to 100 if they are not found. If relics are discovered, the decision to go on a pilgrimage to there will allow for rulers from greater geographical regions near here, and the decision to observe the procession of St. Albert will be enabled. Here's a reminder for you people in this historical context. The relics of St. Albert, the founder of Mont Saint-Michel, went missing for over 30 years in the late 10th century and were rediscovered on the Abbot Hildebert of 1009 to 1017. According to legend, the relics were found in the house of a canon named Benarius. He planned to move the saint's body elsewhere, but his death prevented him from doing so. A few miraculous events supposedly happened to confirm these were true relics of St. Albert, such as one monk becoming paralyzed when he doubted the relic's authenticity. Ultimately, this marked the beginning of the popularity of St. Albert's cult. They've gone missing, and after all this time, nobody's bothered to find it. But you got a 50-50 shot at it. Your level of devotion is faithful. It's not great, but your intrigue is good. So, let's gamble. The relics must be somewhere. Some time ago, the relics of St. Albert, the founder of Mont Saint-Michel Abbey, went missing. This was a great blow to the site, which has long served as the local piece of pilgrimage and learning for locals. I thus sponsored a major attempt to find and locate the relics. It seems that God favors us this day. The priests reported that the relics were located in the house of a former priest who recently passed away. A few miraculous events happened upon this discovery. For example, one priest who expressed the doubts of the relics until he became paralyzed. There's no doubt confirmed these are truly holy relics of St. Albert. Amazing! We got it! 229 piety. And I'm the discoverer of the relics. Monthly piety goes up. Alright. Observe the procession is enabled. So, some time ago, as is from the outsider's perspective, the relics of St. Albert, the founder of the Mont Saint-Michel, went missing. There have been attempts to locate where they found them. Now, the Marchioness Stephanie is happy to report that the relics has been rediscovered. The number of miraculous stories related to these relics and discovery have begun to spread far and wide, enhancing the prestige and the fame of the saint's cult and of the abbey. This, in turn, has attracted even more Christian pilgrims from farther than previously. Praise be to God. Wish that was a legend seed. A holy legend. Something I should have thought of. The procession of St. Albert. It can only be done during the months of May or June. I'll be sure to do that in future. But don't do this other thing yet, because we're gonna need some money for that. We got good income, but we need more. Well, I'll be damned. Give it here. Lord Mayor 2. Count himself. here comes the money. Good. We're back on the right track. We'll be willing to do that commission, the Historia Nominum, next episode. Want it to be about that, along with the new activities. We'll end the episode in January. Oh, and don't forget, also in the next up, get Amiens, but I will not hold that myself. We will need that for the forest. Forest of Amiens. To get us out of that negative modifier. Pretty happy that we got this, but once everything's fully under control, including that part up there and this part here, we'll be well on our way. Gotta also confront the steward as well. So in the next episode, I'll be a bit more active on activities. And of course, got a son to raise as well. For his charming. Well, at least we have Baldwin, who's a genius, but contradictory traits, however. That may become an issue. Though you can't tell him to get rid of sins and all that. That's what that option is for. But I like the traits that I have here. So, anyways, we'll see you in the next episode for all that and more. Including getting one more Dynasty Legacy, which we're going to get no quarter, faster daily siege progress, and enemy counties lose substantial extra control when occupied, and unlocks the terrorized raid attempt, whatever that may look like. All that and more. But until then, so long for now.